Good morning and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. Today is food pantry day. We're going to go in a little bit. It's still early. And then I'll show you what I get. But I wanted to talk just a little bit. I've been hearing a lot in the news lately about how many people are relying on food pantries right now. And so if you're able to donate to your local food pantry, that's a really good thing to do. They can usually provide one meal for $1, I think. So, if you donate $3, you're feeding somebody for a day. And that's doable. I can donate $3. That's doable. Man, Sassy's running around like a crazy thing. But what I wanted to talk about is I keep hearing, because they're seeing so many people, and a lot of the people that are going to the food pantry now have never been to the food pantry before. And basically they're like, it's just regular people going to the food pantry now. It could be your neighbors, it's people like you. And I'm wondering who all these journalists thought were using the food pantry before. Hi, Whiskers. If it's regular people going there now because of the crisis, it was irregular people before. Listen, I've been going to food pantries for years, and I'll tell you who goes to food pantries. It's people like you. And I can say that without knowing you personally, because it's just a variety of people like anywhere else. If you ever been to Walmart, yeah, there's some strange people there. And there's lots of regular, normal, whatever people there. It's just a good cross-section of people. That's who goes to the food pantry. There are some colorful characters there occasionally, but mostly it's just plain old regular people. The food pantry in my town, I see people who work at the local hospital. They're nurses, they're nursing assistants, technicians, and they work at the hospital and they don't make enough money to buy food for their families. They go to the food pantry, and that was before the coronavirus. It's a lot of the people there are people who have jobs. There's also a lot of elderly people who don't have jobs. There are some people there with kids. There's probably more elderly people than young people, but there are young people too. It's who you would expect to see in a McDonald's restaurant if you walked in on any given day. It's just regular people. Not rich people, but regular people. So I don't know where this idea comes from that normal people don't go to the food pantry. I know more people are going because of the economic and the healthcare issues right now, but the people aren't really different than the people who've been going all along. They're just average, everyday people who suddenly are having trouble coming up with enough money for food, and that happens to a lot of people. So I felt like it was important to say that, and especially if you've never been to a food pantry before, but you need some help, I'm going to stick a link down in the description on a video I did quite some time ago on how to find local food pantries and what to expect when you go. It's a little different right now because of the pandemic. Most pantries now are you just drive up and get your food, but it's the first time. I remember the first time I went to a food pantry, and I was really nervous and I felt anxious and awkward, and I had to get a friend to go with me because I didn't feel comfortable going by myself. And I don't know what I expected or what I thought it would be like, but I was too nervous to go by myself, and probably a lot of people feel that way the first time they go, but it's not a scary thing. Usually the people that work there are nice and friendly. The other people there getting food are nice and friendly, although you don't really get to talk to them if you're just sitting in line in your car. But, it's not like you're gonna be there surrounded by really strange people that aren't normal people, that aren't people like you. The people that go to food pantries are people like you. So we're gonna go in a little bit, and we'll see how long the line is today, and I'll show you what I got when I get home. All right, we are in line for the food pantry, And I'm not sure exactly how long the line is. They're holding it at a different location in my town for the next few months. So we're at the new location, and I just went to the post office and I drove by to like see if people were in line yet, but I thought they probably wouldn't be because it is 2 hours before they're supposed to start distributing food and people are already in line. So I went ahead and got in line. I was going to go back home, have another cup of coffee or whatever, and then come back out, but people are already lining up, and I don't think the line is too long yet because it's so early, but people are in line, and it's not a super long line but wow, I mean, this shows you what the need is for food right now, I think. So we're gonna hang out for a while. I'm gonna listen to a podcast or something on my phone, and I've got some crochet with me to work on while I'm waiting in the car. All right, it is 10 till 12, so I've been waiting an hour and 50 minutes, and we just started moving. We've moved a little teeny bit. So, yeah, usually I don't wait in line this long. Usually I wait about 45 minutes to an hour. So today it's going to be like 2 hours or more, I think, and that's a much longer wait than usual. Uh, they're probably serving more people than usual. Maybe they have fewer volunteers to distribute the food. Who knows? So we'll see what the new setup is. Usually they do it in front of a church. It used to be in the church, but now they're doing it up at the firehouse, where I think either the cars actually get to pull inside or the volunteers can like stand inside and then hand out food, so they don't have to be out in the cold all day. So let's see what it looks like up here. I can't see yet. So we'll see, because I think that's an issue in the winter, and especially if we're going to be getting snow and stuff, for volunteers to be standing outside handing out food for a long time. And we've been lucky that we haven't had rain or anything on a food pantry day, because usually like they have these food boxes like stacked up kind of in the little parking area of the church, and then they put them in people's cars, and so they're out. Not just the people are outdoors in the weather, but the packages of food. And so your cardboard boxes, if it had been like raining hard on any of the food pantry days, those boxes would have been totally soaked and probably making a mess. So there you can see more of the line. And people just line up, on the side of the road. This is in a little neighborhood, and the cars go, typically the line has been going for about 3/4 of a mile to a mile, and it just kind of goes through neighborhoods. One day the line backed up and was kind of going in front of a school, and police officers were coming around saying you can't, park in front of the school there because school buses have to go there. So you've got to pull over, park on a different road to wait in line. But you can see some people have got their trunks or their hatchbacks or whatever open already. I'll open mine in a second, so that they're ready for people's food. So here's where we're going. We're going to go like around this curve and then make a turn and come back this way. If you see that building there, and you can't see it very well. I think maybe you can see the trucks. There's a couple trucks of food. And I really am curious about how many people they've been serving lately. We might get a better look at how they're distributing food, because usually like you can't see that until I get right up there, and then I don't have very much time to film it. So I might be able to see it better from the way the line's curving around. You see there, it like goes around this curve and then curves back to where the building is. I need to get my mask out. I did not have my mask on because I've been sitting here forever, and it was too hot with the mask. Plus I was drinking coffee, which only made me have to pee that much more. So while I've been sitting here, I've been working on an Afghan that's for a friend. Oh, you can't, there you can see it. You can see that. Those are not my favorite colors. They're colors she likes, so hopefully it turns out looking good in the end. Gave me time to get several rows done. So yeah, they are going in. There's like a thing where the cars are actually pulling in or like pulling through. It's like a drive-through. So at least the volunteers can be out of the worst of the weather. I am curious about how far back this line went. We may get to see when we leave. We'll see if it backs up. My apartment is not very far from here. Like, this is walking distance. Isaac and I walk this far every day. We actually walk up here. If you come from my apartment and you walk up to where this loop is, and where these cars are going to the right, you can turn to the left. There's a road on the other side there. You can't really see the road, but there is. And you can kind of walk around in a circle and make a loop and end back by my apartment. So Isaac and I have walked up here before. We quit walking this way very often because there are several people who live in this area that have large dogs that are frequently off leash. And they run at us, and I don't trust dogs I don't know that are off leash and there's no person around supervising them. Alright, so it's a couple minutes till 12. It looks
Isaac's eating dinner. Here's what we got from the food pantry. I got a gallon of chocolate milk, which I was hoping for milk, but not really chocolate because I'm not a big fan of chocolate milk. I've got a neighbor downstairs with kids who like chocolate milk, but I also have a couple of people coming over Thursday to help me with some stuff around the house. I was going to bake them cookies. So maybe they'll like chocolate milk with their cookies. Or I also have 6 quarts of vanilla eggnog. Oh, that light's kind of bad. Yeah, vanilla eggnog. So, maybe they'll like eggnog, because I don't really like eggnog that much either. 6 of these is kind of a lot of eggnog for one person. And finally, in the beverage department, I have Fresca sparkling soda water, a 6-pack, and that's actually, I do like that. That's kind of a nice, it's grapefruit flavor, like no sugar in it. Just carbonated water with grapefruit flavoring. All right, I got 2 of these bags of oranges. These are 3 pounds each. These are big oranges, and they look really nice. I got a whole chicken without the neck and giblets, which happens to be Isaac's favorite part of a chicken, but nonetheless. I sound kind of picky right now, and I don't mean to. All right, then I got this big bag of stuff, which appears to be produce. So I got shredded lettuce. I got, a whole bunch of grape tomatoes. And they're spilling out. A whole bunch of grape tomatoes, which I really do love. Avocados. Wow, I haven't had avocados in a long time. Okay, here's one of the bad things about food pantries when you never know what you're gonna get. Grab a towel. Alright, a bag of sweet peppers, in which a couple of them are rotten, and when I pulled them out of the plastic bag, nasty, rotten sweet pepper juice dribbled all over my pants leg. Okay. Food pantry, you never know what you're gonna get, right? 3 yellow squash and 3 zucchini, which have been marinating in the bottom of this plastic bag full of rotten sweet pepper juice. Okay. This whole plastic bag is going in the trash. Alright. So, I appreciate all the donations and all the things food pantries do very much. When food is so rotten that when you lift up the bag, stuff like nasty rotten fluid drips all over your leg, which you then have to change your pants, which, you know, it costs you money to do your laundry and you don't have a lot of money because that's why you're going to the food pantry. It's not as helpful as some people might imagine. So if food pantries are going to give out food, you know, I don't know how long this food has been packaged in this plastic bag or what, but I sat in a line for more than 2 hours, and some of the food I got, it's not just that it's not usable, but it created a mess on my carpet and on my clothes, and it becomes more difficult to feel thankful for that. And I'm gonna sound like I'm being ungrateful, and it's free food and you should like it and eat it, even if it's chocolate milk or it's eggnog or whatever. And I mean, I am thankful, but occasionally I get items from the food pantry that are so past the expiration date, or so. I once got a loaf of bread. When I first picked it up, it was like so squashed flat. I thought it was like pita bread or naan or something, and then I realized, no, this is just like white sandwich bread. But it was so squashed that you know, nobody could. I mean, I guess you could make breadcrumbs with it or something. I didn't, but Isaac's trying to grab this chicken and take off with it. Anyway, you know, I once got a bag of walnuts that was crawling with insects inside it. I mean, stuff like that. Just because people are poor and need help with the food pantry, they don't want that crap. I'm telling you. You know, it's one thing, like sometimes I've gotten those plastic tubs of strawberries and 1 or 2 of the berries is moldy, and you have to go through it as soon as you get home and pick out the moldy ones so they don't all go bad. And I'm willing to do that. You know, that's okay. But if I pick up the container of strawberries and nasty, smelly, rotten liquid pours out on me, you know, nobody wants that. Just nobody wants that. Okay, so that's what I got from the food pantry today. You ever got stuff from the food pantry that was really bad? And yeah, all right. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know if you ever got anything really rotten from the food pantry. Hey guys, I just wanted to add one more thing. I kind of didn't like the way I sounded to myself earlier. And I thought about going back and like editing the part about me complaining out of it. But then I decided, you know, I'm being real. And you know, I usually get good stuff and I like it, but that's what I got this time. And I don't have to like everything I get, because when you get food from the food pantry,
you can't be too picky, and some weeks you're gonna wait for an hour and get stuff you love, and some weeks you're gonna wait for 2 hours and you're gonna be like, meh, I could take this or leave it. Come here, Isaac, I don't have a treat for you. I'll get you one in a minute, buddy. But I was tired and my back hurt from sitting in the car waiting for 2 hours, and then the stuff leaked on my leg and on my carpet, and that made me cranky. And so I guess I'm not really going to apologize for being cranky about that, but I did want to come back and say that I know food pantries are really doing the best they can right now. They're serving a lot more people. They're doing good work. I donate to my local food pantry. I donate about $5 a month. I mean, I donate a really small amount, but I think they provide 5 meals, or maybe they feed somebody for 5 days on that. I forget. They do an amazing amount with like every dollar that you send them. So, you know, and I definitely support the employees and the volunteers. They do great work. I'm glad they're there doing it. Most of them are really kind and friendly and helpful. But it does seem kind of insulting as well as annoying when you get something that's just in such bad shape that, you know, nobody's going to be able to eat that. And I think I already said all this on the previous video, and like I said, I thought about going back and editing it, but I decided to leave it because I'm trying to be real. And I don't want to be like the person who goes to the food pantry and is always just very sweet and thankful for whatever I get. I mean, I do want to be thankful for whatever I get, but I want to be real too, if that makes sense. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments, and everybody have a great evening.